So on our Thursday briefing, I've also got Julie Edge here, and with the education particularly to start with, we might get to flumes if we have time, but that's just ongoing. Obviously, a very serious bit of news about the teachers. Another sort of threat of everything but strike action. This just keeps going on, and you've been in charge now for some time. So what's going on?
Yeah, so certainly this is action that started yesterday, notified by National Union. And they balloted their members, so they've taken that action short of strike. And there's a list of
what they'll do, what they won't do.
What they'll do and what they won't do.
But this has gone on for so long. I was going to say you took it over, but I think now the time is you've had long enough to be looking at this thing, surely.
Yeah, certainly we're currently still in pay negotiations, so I can't. We haven't got to the final stage of that yet. We're still in the process of that.
But that's been going on how long? Years?
So this is just this year's pay. It's pay from the 1st of September 21 through to 31st of August this year. So it's the current year.
Right. So September we weren't in really hitting the big inflation numbers we're hitting now. So I mean, they're wanting. Was this all part of the thing we don't know about? Do they have a number they want?
Well, certainly they've been public about that.
Yeah.
You can see that what their wishes are.
And you can't fulfil that
from a department point of view. I will make sure that we have the right appropriate pay in place for our teachers on the island, and that's the challenge I've got. And I will do my utmost to stabilise this situation.
Because I mean, anyone that takes home less than 10% increase, by the sounds of it, will be taking a pay cut. But, if inflation's going to hit 10% at some point in the next year, if it does, obviously, it's going to be a pay cut, isn't it?
And certainly this is a challenge for the whole of government.
Yeah.
It's everybody's pay,
everybody's challenge.
It's not just teachers. It's just that we're currently in negotiations.
But how can we be negotiating if they already push this one forward that they're not going to cooperate as much at school? I mean, doesn't that sound to me like things aren't going well at all, and they're having to threaten these sort of things?
Well, certainly some of the other unions are going out to ballot their members on the current offer, and Nashua have done that, and they've chosen to take this action.
So you're disappointed with them doing this?
It is disappointing, because I think we all need to really work together, and the teaching profession is so important to everybody on the island, and the future of our young children.
With your background in education, this must be quite painful, I suppose, that you haven't been able to undo the logjam. I mean, there was hope when you first got the job, I think, that you were going to be able to bring a fresh pair of eyes on this.
And it certainly takes time, Paul, and key to me, I suppose the benefit of me having that background knowledge is I do understand some of the challenges that they're talking about, and we've obviously are looking at all of the options put in front of us. But what we need to do is make sure that we've got the right pay, the right funding in place for education going forward.
Is it different from the UK? I mean, what's the background here? Are we paying less, more, terms and conditions, better, worse? I mean, what's going on here?
So the island actually follows the national pay scales, so that's the equivalent to the UK. The UK this year didn't offer any percentage for this year 21-22 that we're currently negotiating on.
But they're not on strike, are they?
So they're not at the present time, as far as I'm aware, if anything has changed. So we were offering over and above what the national pay scales. However, then there's the other challenges that come into play that they talk about on the island. So key to this is, our offer at the present time was more than what the UK got. Do I want to get it sorted? Yes, I do. I want to stabilise this situation so we can move forward in education.
And again, I know we covered it, but there was a big headline figure about the amount of teachers that are leaving the profession, that sort of thing. Does that stand up, or have you found you've got new teachers ready to start and take over?
Yeah, certainly. There's every year in September there's a new intake of teachers. That's nothing new. Have teachers gone at different periods of the year? This time round, possibly there might have been more go at Easter this time, but it's also down to where they're going and what their future career is. I think one of the other challenges that teachers face is with regards to pensions on the island now, because it's outside of the UK pension scheme. But that's what we need to be looking at, making sure we've got the right package to recruit and retain teachers on the island.
And housing is bad, isn't it? I mean, that's one of the big issues still. Everyone keeps talking about the cost of housing.
Yeah, but that's across the board. That's not just for teachers.
No.
And I think what we need to do is make sure that pay is appropriate to be able to move to the island. We do other packages of enhancement as well alongside pay. So, but I want to look at this.
When are you going to get sorted then? Have you got a timetable? Because otherwise this year will be over and they'll be negotiating in reverse.
Certainly, I would like to see it sorted this school year.
You've got more money to offer them, though.
So, I can't say at the moment. We're still in negotiations, and we need to come to.
So you have got something
we need
you
to negotiate, and we need to come to an agreement that hopefully we can have no more disruption in our schools and get our children educated with teachers in front of them. We have announced that we'll support with cover supervisors to take away, there's been challenge with regards to teachers' workload, and that's been because of COVID. They probably have had to support more the colleagues that are off work, and that's what the challenge is there. But hopefully we're all moving out of COVID, although it is causing us some impact at the present time. But key is to get this sorted. We've just appointed 2 new head teachers.
That's just interesting. What can you tell us about this?
So that's great news. We've appointed Graham Corran from a deputy at Ramsey Grammar. However, he did act up as head when Mrs Baker retired, and Graham's coming to Ballacomene, which is good news. He understands our education system, and the island is a fully inclusive education system, and that's where sometimes people challenge us on funding. Actually, we in the UK, some of the funding that goes to sort of some of the centres where children will go for behaviour and things like that isn't part of the school budget, whereas on the island that's all part of our budget. So we do have those financial challenges, but I think Graham's going to be the right person for Ballacomene. And then we've got the new head teacher at QE2, Charlotte Clark. Miss Charlotte, sorry, apologies if it isn't. These are 2 inspiring head teachers that I hope are going to take education forward. Well,
they're in the system already, so they know the challenges. When we bring people from outside, it can be a different matter when they find out what's entailed. Can I quickly ask you about Castle Rushen? Where are we up to? Is there anything in the books for this work now? Because I'm not sure, you can tell me, but I heard that it wasn't actually in the budgets, which is a disappointment because everyone keeps saying it was going to be in the budgets.
Yeah, no, and that's just the way that the budget's been presented this year for capital, and the budget was there. We're going through. We've done the feasibility. But we're going through to design stage now.
It is there? The money's
and there'll be a Treasury business case put forward.
Because it disappeared, right? Or it wasn't quite clear.
No, it's just they've presented the budget and the pink book differently.
Yeah. So you're still confident Castle Rushen will get built?
Yes, this government's made a commitment.
In your tenureship?
Certainly, I'd hope there's a spade in the ground.
Right, you'll be there doing the first one.
So no, it's key.
It's needed, right? I mean,
I've always said we need a strategic infrastructure needs. Review of our schools, and the South's a good place to start with that, because we know we need a new secondary school. We know there's development going on down there, so we need to look at all of our schools in the area and see what's needed and come forward with a strategy on our buildings, our school buildings. Some are tired and getting on in age, and we need to look at that replacement opportunity.
What year do you think it will be ready, if all goes to plan? When do you think pupils will be in there?
Certainly, if you think of Bemaheg, I think it was probably a 5-year process. So obviously we're going to design stage. It won't be this administration. I'd like to think it could be if we can do it and move forward with it. But key is that we do need to get on with it, and I'm certainly making sure that happens.
Well, I started at the beginning by promising something about the flumes. Is there any sign things are sorting?
Certainly, the NSC is open. We've still got 1 flume operating. Families are enjoying that, and the new, Discovery
That's not what I asked, though, is it?
With regards to the second flume, the contractors are still discussing with us the way forward. Do I want the flume open as soon as possible? Yes, I do. Could that be before the school holidays in the summer? I'm hopeful, but I certainly won't give you a date today.
We're not going down the flume quite yet then, are we?
No, and you're very welcome to.